Now I'm going to start right from the beginning and give you an idea what's going on. This Chinese torture never stopped. Anybody have any idea approximately what that metronomic reading is that's clicking away there? About 80, that's a good one. 72. 60 is right. 60 is right. Now you have to learn, this is something you can actually learn, because you're beating time, right? You cannot rely on a rhythm section all the time, because you're going to be writing things that don't have a rhythm section and all that stuff. And yet you must be able to keep time. Now it's something you can practice and you can learn it. You can improve it. Because everyone has to approach this in their own way. You, within your mind and your body and the very marrow of your bones, you have to figure out how you conceive the passage of time. The distance between one beat and another, for instance. So the basic thing, of course, if we start at 60 cycles, which the whole world operates on anyway, if you can get that in your head pretty good, and in your whole body, and know how to feel that time, then you certainly know where 120 is. And if you're reading a piece of music and it suddenly says 76, you're gonna be in the ballpark as a conductor playing your instrument. When you see that at sight, you're gonna say, oh yeah, and you're gonna get very close to the proper time, right? That's all part of the training. Now, I'm not going to mess with a baton. You don't see a baton. Baton doesn't mean a damn thing if your hands aren't moving properly. Then the stick is wrong. And actually a baton is only for a visual aid anyway. It calls attention to your hand, and in some situations it's difficult for some of the players to see what's going on, and the stick attracts the attention to the hand. So the hand has to move properly. So I don't mess with a baton. That comes much later. If you want to get into it, fine. It's a whole language and is really not all that necessary. Certainly not now, but we'll get around to it. Now, the reason I brought up the word baton is because I'm going to use that word in a different sense. For the want of a better word, I am calling the part of your arm from the elbow to the tips of your fingers the baton part of your arm. Now, one of my goals here is absolutely to eliminate all extra movements from the conductor. I won't see any extra movements. That's what confuses the players. Nobody hears these mistakes. But if somebody over there lays a clam, he's going to be very angry with you because everybody heard his mistake. And he's not going to be thrilled about it because you made him look bad. Right? So, we're going to call this, for now anyway, from the elbow to the tips of the fingers, with the forearm straight ahead. Notice even the wrist, palm down, fingers comfortably together, not like this, but very comfortably together, and parallel to the floor. Parallel. The upper part of the arm remains exactly where it is, naturally. Why work any harder than you have to? Now the reason I'm doing this and isolating this area is because I want you to isolate it. I want you to be able to control what your hands and arms do, not the other way around, because you'll find out that that is true. You will look at your hands in total disbelief because they're not doing what you had planned. And it's like they belong to somebody else. You can't believe it. You'll see why. So we're starting from square one. First of all, we're going to isolate this area. And that is going to be it. Nothing else. No other part of your body is needed. You stand quite naturally, feet together, as comfortably as possible. All you have to do is raise your hands so that they are parallel to the floor. Just like that. And that will be our baton for the moment. And there's a reason for that, as I say. I'm sure if any of you have ever played in any kind of a musical group at all where there was a conductor up there, you have probably seen this kind of a downbeat. Now, I just gave you 5 different beat points. Do it in slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as players, you go, when do I actually make a sound out of my instrument? Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait for the guy next to me to start. Then I'll join in. So we don't want that. But with this, hey, there is no question about it. This is going to be parallel to the the floor. Now, there's a variety of reasons for that. Beat point is another term you're going to hear a lot, and that is the bottom of the beat. The bottom of the beat is going to be, we call it the beat point. When we get fancy, we'll use the Latin word ictus, which I don't care about using, but it will crop up. I-C-T-U-S. But beat point works fine. Use too many fancy words in the studio anyway, they're going to look at you real funny. So who needs it? Talk English and we go fine. Anyway, we want every beat point to land at this imaginary line, which is right here, parallel to the floor. We want every beat point to arrive right there. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is going to arrive and touch that imaginary line. Now, here's part of the training. Our Chinese torture has been going on here at 60 clicks, right? Can you imagine, as players, in a studio, and you have a headset on with a click track going on it, and you look up at the conductor and this is what you see. You can't follow that, can you, with that going on in your head? Nor can you follow this. It's late. It'll drive you nuts. You can't watch. So you must train these muscles, just like you're learning an instrument. I'm not ahead of it, and I'm not behind it. I'm splitting that noise right down the middle. So when I'm conducting, that beat point is going to arrive exactly at the same time as that clicker. And even if that were turned off, because once you learn that feeling, once you train, because you have to become the metronome. Once you learn how to do that, even if that isn't happening, you're going to be right on the button, because you've learned to do it. You cannot be ahead of it, you cannot be behind it. You must be the absolute metronome yourself. And this is a simple game to practice, right? You should all have a metronome. Great if you have one with a light on it so you can turn off the sound. Because you can do this, get started, for a couple of measures, turn away. Turn away and do several measures and look back and see how embarrassed you really are. Because it will happen, but that's part of it, right?